thing you can do is, if you, let's say, you look at all assets and, let's say, most popular, and I find this one, learning theories. And this has been added by somebody called HLSYAN. And if I click on that icon, then I can see resources that only this particular person has added up to this collection. And now if I like what this person is doing, the type of resources that she's adding, I can choose to subscribe by clicking RSS. I'm subscribing, and then in this case this is getting the RSS feed, which actually I can embed in other places like my blog, or I can subscribe. If I subscribe, then in that case, in my basket I will have something area called subscribe assets, which means I will get information about every time this user adds something new to the system. I will be informed about that this thing has become available, and then I can preview from here. So in that way is the idea of, you don't expect people to go to information all the time, but you expect to create you providing people with the tools so they can define what they are interested in, and based on that interest and the needs, they can receive those resources into their personalized space. Then I have things like socialize, where I can view the assets, where I can view the friends, and from the list here I can actually search for some friend, and if I find somebody I'm interested in, that I can add that person as my friend, and then I will be able to track the friend's activities, and I will be able to add this friend to a group, and I'll be able to communicate, send them messages, and also I will see who are the people who added me as a friend, so I will know who is interested in my work. So this is this will kind of support activities such as if you want to develop some kind of strategic collaboration between people across universities. So if I identify who is interested in me by adding me as a friend, then I might be able to communicate with those people, and then discuss certain things and develop some kind of, for example, teaching development grant or research project opportunities or stuff like that, or even discover the students who are interested in my work because they want to recruit some graduate research students. Now, another important thing here is, if I find an asset, I can do this with my assets, or I can do this with assets from others. I have a thing called embedding block. So what does it mean, embedding block? I will get this tag, and if I copy this tag inside of my blog, then I will, let me quickly show you that. I look in one of my blog. So if I copy that piece of code, embed code, I can embed that particular resource inside of my blog. In this case, let me just show you briefly. To use a Mac, but okay, it's coming. While that's loading, so there are two options. So you will see now when it loads that page, I can copy that particular tag and paste it in my blog, and that resource will be pasted in there. And then, but there is another option I have, and this is a very nice option. If I look under my resources, actually this is my cloud tag. So I can get this cloud tag displayed inside of my blog as well. So if I look under my profile, then my profile at the bottom will give me the the tag cloud. So I can copy this tag cloud and again paste it inside of my blog, so my student will have access at any time to my clouds in another place. So I can embed this in a blog or wiki, I can embed it in my learning management system or something like that. And then I will have things like, okay, here's my cloud tags here embedded in my blog. So students might be interested in only something that I label learning, because a topic that we do this week is maybe learning theory. They can click on learning and that would open those a list of resources labeled as learning. Or in this case I have a resource embedded, this resource by somebody else, in this case is a link, and I have embedded that resource from the RISAL into the blog, and in the same way it can be embedded anywhere else in other places. Okay, now just to tell you a few things in conclusion, what we're planning to work this further on is we want to further develop social networking features along the line of Facebook and other popular social networking tools. So to make the system, so this is not a system like traditional kind of system, repository and sharing the content. The content is kind of a carrot on a stick, because what is most important here is the social dimension where people get to know each other and then get to discover each other's resources and reuse them and talk about things and otherwise interact. So we want to develop this further. Further, we want to develop e-portfolio features so that we can have ability, students can build portfolio or teachers can build portfolio. Like for example, I'm using now Blogger to make my course blog. But we're going to build a feature in a system that you have a blogging functionality, so you can create a blog and then drag and drop or otherwise link the resources or display resources from the repository into your portfolio. So like a strategy for organizing resources into learning kind of environments, into the course pages. We're looking in the mobile integration. In particular, we will explore the use of the iPhone, so that you are able to, let's say you're somewhere, you are civil engineering professor and somewhere you're on a site, on a work site, and you take a picture and immediately you can send it to the repository from the site, you tag it, you comment it, wherever, and it gets into the, so integration with mobile. Integration with the learning management system, we will look at this further, although we have an idea that actually the learning management systems need to reinvent, transform themselves, because they might not be really suitable technology for today's time, given that students are doing all these other things like social networking, and RISAL, for example, is along these ideas. We're talking about student-centered environments, and learning management system are really teacher-centered, because it is about the teachers creating a course, putting a course material, distributing them with students, and so on. We want to look at the possibility of real-time conversation, so you can see who is online. So when you go in the system, you log in, you might see which ones of your friends are actually online, and you can also see, if you look at a particular resource, and you can see who's else looking at this resource at the same time, so that you can have some conversation about that resource.